Live from our studios in Kigali, Rwanda, this is RTV News. I am Isabel Masozera with the headlines. Coming up, the government of Rwanda has significantly increased the salaries of teachers and injected 5 billion Rwanda francs into the teachers' savings and credit cooperative known as Umari Musako. Economic experts have commended the decision to create a Rwandan ministry in charge of public investments and privatization. Also, one of the cabinet approved resolutions of the 29th July 2022 allows public servants to work from home or any other place, as it was proven effective at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Thanks for choosing RTV News wherever it is that you are watching from here in Rwanda, on the African continent and beyond. Now on to our top story. The government of Rwanda has significantly increased the salaries of teachers and decided to inject 5 billion Rwanda francs into the teachers' savings and credit cooperative known as Umari Musako. Take a look.
The announcement was made on Monday as Rwanda's Prime Minister Dr. Edouard Ngirente delivered a presentation to both chambers of parliament on the achievements in basic education in relation to the National Transformation Strategy, or NST1.
Inama y'Abaminisitiri yateranye mu cyumweru gishize yabanje kuganira ku mibereho y'umwarimu.
The cabinet meeting that convened last week assessed the welfare of teachers and their financial means, as well as the impact it has been having on the education sector, deciding on the following resolutions. Primary school teachers are to get a salary increase of 88% effective during this month of August. Secondary school teachers with university diplomas and a bachelor's degree are to get a 40% increase on their base salary. We also sought to increase the capacity of the teachers' savings and credit cooperative Umari Musako to provide loans to teachers now that they will be getting bigger salaries, which is why the government will be injecting 5 billion Rwandan francs into the cooperative during this fiscal year. So it's a two-pronged approach on the matter, providing access to more funds.
The
news has been applauded by teachers everywhere. We are very happy and thank the President of the Republic. May he hear our message where he is. Teachers feel on top of the world right now, and it has proved that he does what he promises. We are very grateful. This decision will improve our welfare and support the education sector. We are going to put a lot of effort in our jobs because our government cares about us. We thank God and our leadership for putting our needs into consideration. We thank the President of the Republic for looking out for the welfare of the general public, especially us teachers, and we are very happy about it. The parliamentarians gathered for the hearing also commended the move. This gives confidence that teachers will stop leaving the education sector for other careers, and the migration will be reversed, helping to improve the education provided in Rwanda. Indeed, the flood of teachers that have been leaving their jobs was among the reasons the government decided to act.
The
way things were, we were losing 1,000 teachers every month on average. Imagine a sector that loses 12,000 employees every year. To make matters worse, we were spending at the very least 300 million Rwandan francs every term to recruit new teachers to replace the ones that left. That's 1.2 billion every academic year. Our assessment found that among the reasons they were leaving was the salary that we have now raised.
The
88% increase will apply to slightly more than 68,000 primary school teachers with high school diplomas, and they will be getting an extra 50,849 Rwandan francs per month. 12,214 secondary school teachers with university diplomas will benefit from the 40% increase, getting close to an extra 55,000 Rwandan francs per month, while 17,547 with a bachelor's degree will get an extra 70,195 Rwandan francs per month. School administrators and other supporting staff at public schools and private ones that get government support are also to get a raise. This means the government will now spend an extra 64.4 billion Rwandan francs annually to pay teachers.
Moving on, teachers in different parts of the country commend the government's decision to increase their salaries and the 5 billion Rwanda francs that is to be injected into the cooperative Umwarimu Sacco. We have the details with Precious Kirezi.
Quite a number of primary and secondary school teachers have expressed an appreciation for the government's resolution to increase salaries and financially facilitate the saving and credit cooperative Umwarimu Sacco.
Twishimye cyane kuba abarimu leta yatwizeho.
We're glad the government thought of increasing our salaries and put it into action. Getting a teacher's pay became a slang because of how little we were paid in the past, but we're glad that's changing. It wasn't unusual for a student to have a more expensive shoe than a teacher, which made us think we would be disrespected. Now that our pay has increased, our living conditions are getting upgraded.
The looming increase in price has not been the best for our economic ability as teachers, but with these raises, we can finally go to the market like other public servants while making our credit score better at the same time.
The cooperative's Director General says the pay increase promises to transform the living conditions of teachers in a significant way, which she bases on how well they handled their credit prior.
I can say it in two ways, both ways, on the teacher's side, on the institution side. On Umwarimu Sacco, the grant of 5 billion will have been granted from the PM declaration. It will increase the capacity of Umwarimu Sacco to grant loans. As the salary of teachers has also increased, we will need more money so that we can grant them more loans, and we will be asking them. And for on the new salaries teachers are getting, this will also increase their capacity to get loans. For example, if they have been getting 2.3 million in 12 years at 11% for the one who has been getting 57,000 as salary, their capacity of loan will increase to 4.5 million. Which means that they will also remain with the half of 57 to be used in other life needs.
The salaries for primary school teachers have been raised by 88%, and those for secondary school teachers and school administrators have been raised by 40%. Precious Kirezi, RTV News.
Thank you, Precious. And moving on from that notable investment, putting a smile on loads of faces. You're still watching RTV News. Stakeholders in the mining industry believe that the Rutungo Mining School located in IPRC Kigali has revolutionized the field following the knowledge transfer to those working in the field. Nuriet Agasaro brings us this report.
Rutongo, the mining school named after Rutongo Hill, on which it sits, is referred as a revolutionary attempt into modern mining in Rwanda. It is from here that students are being sharpened on to use specialized machine used in mining, to which students attribute the available technology they use in mining.
When I came to mining, I already had experience in the mining industry, but I started working normally. I grew up in it, using hands like others. I applied after completing the Senior 6, and I was selected based on my mining experience. What I came to do is to reduce the gap, because there were much efforts but less production.
First, I'm a young person, and young people follow the latest trend. As technology advances, I will adapt to it and connect it to my studies.
When a person takes a technology abroad, it is different from the person who normally works in it. When innovative chances arise and you participate in them, that's where you see that there is a difference between those who started here and those who already started working.
Several employees, such as Trinity Metals, believe for student employees who studied at Rutongo Mining School of Rwanda Polytechnic, the knowledge they get from this school is not only used in Rwanda but also in other countries.
It has increased my knowledge of mining and helped me teach others how to mine in a modern way.
Wherever you go, technology is useful because mining sector in Rwanda is developed. So technology helps you to fit in the field whenever you move out of school.
At the moment, we are very glad of the work we are doing. We can't say that we finished because these are technical guys who are coming up to back up the senior management. So we are be part of the middle management. What we are doing now is they've been exposed to the mines, and they are doing well.
The school is helping to speed up the process of developing technology in this field.
Aho twigisha ari softwares zigisha kudesigning ikirombe.
We learn new about the technology by showing people how to design a mine using the software and doing it well. And we help them to take what they learned and put it into practice. We also have modern equipment. We work with different companies that are in that work, such as Rutongo is very close and our everyday partners because of the tools they have and ours. So it helps the staff to come out knowing how to use them.
Since 2016, there have been 286 graduates in this school, including 176 boys and 110 girls. And currently, there are 382 students, including 239 boys and 143 girls. The foundation of this school is one of the measures to help in the journey towards the achievement of the government goals of increasing foreign exchange income from mining precious stones. From $733 million earned by this sector in the year 2020 to $1.5 billion by 2024. Agasaro Nuriat, RTV News.
Economic experts have commended the decision to create a Rwandan ministry in charge of public investments and privatization, pointing out that the more investments the government makes, the greater the need for a centralized way to manage them. Salt Intore with the details.
Since 2011, when the Agaciro Development Fund that manages government shares in companies was founded, the figure it oversees has ballooned from 18 to 256 billion Rwandan francs, with 186 billion of that money currently tied up in the shares of 32 different companies in the country. The creation of a government ministry dedicated solely to such matters was therefore inevitable. When public companies are privatized, the funds generated are received by the Agaciro Development Fund, which is why we will be working closely with this new ministry. Its creation will also give us a uniform approach to the way we do things, because investment opportunities are time sensitive. Waiting even a day before making a decision can have a huge difference in the long run, which is why the ability to speed up things that comes with this new ministry will be very beneficial for the government and the general public that the investments are meant to benefit, though we will still coordinate with other institutions as well. The Ministry of Public Investments and Privatization came into existence just 3 days ago, but economic experts are already confident that its impact is going to be far-reaching and quick.
Investment zareta ndetse na privatization bazareba yewe ibitakoraga neza.
When you talk of government investments and privatization, that means that ministry will also look into which ones are not going well and what can be done to improve the situation, such as bringing in more private investors to spur things up. The fact that the ministry previously did not exist means uniform policies were far more difficult to apply, so there was a much greater risk of such investments stalling. Now private investors will be brought into such initiatives far more easily, so the creation of this ministry comes at a time when it is needed, which is why I told you that our government does not make decisions without first giving the matter the proper analysis. In less than 2 years, investment in Rwanda has increased to 3.7 billion Rwandan francs, up from 1.3 billion. And with the creation of this new ministry, that figure is expected to continue steadily climbing.
Thank you, Sash, for that report. Now, one of the cabinet-approved resolutions of 29th July 2022 allows for public servants to work from home or any other place, as it was proven effective at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, as explained by Fabian Mberabagabo, a legal analyst and team leader at the Ministry of Public Service and Labour.
iteka riteganya ko umukozi akorera akazi mu biro ahasanzwe akorera.
What I can say, the new order stipulates that the employee can work from home or any other place, but on condition that he or she must perform well. That flexibility came after the COVID-19 pandemic experience. Before the employees grants to work from home, there must be examination of the services he delivers, the nature of the service provided while at home. What I can add on is that an employee must be available at any time he is needed. He must use working hours doing a job, but not his own business. It is obvious that the employee that is allowed to work from home must be facilitated in order to perform.
Birumvikana urwego rwakwemereye gukorera aho udasanzwe ukorera agomba kubona facilities zituma abasha gukora kugira ngo atange umusaruro.
Order also provides that a female employee who gives birth to a premature baby is entitled to a leave of the remaining days of a normal delivery period of 9 months. Now, during the period, the employer and the entity in charge of the maternity leave benefits scheme pay each half of the salary to the employee. After this period, the female employee is entitled to maternity leave of 12 weeks. This helps the female employee to take care of her baby and her physical recovery. RTV News now, as part of the mandate, the Senate is tasked to monitor the performance of political parties. It is against that background that the Committee on Politics and Governance in the Senate held discussions with political parties in order to monitor how political parties increase access to information among their members. The political groups, including RPF Nkotanyi, PL, UDPR, and PDI parties, convened virtually. The representatives of Nkotanyi, PL, UDPR, and PDI political parties reiterated the significance of the training for their members and the development of political parties in general.
The ideology of the RPF Nkotanyi is the foundation of all the activities of the family, and that is the reason why we believe that our leaders should be trained in order to understand better the ideology of the family and what the family wants from the Rwandans. Another point we took forward is to solve the problems that threaten Rwandans, and it concerns us fast. And we did not compare with others. We see that it mainly helps in strengthening the culture of values of the country. It also helps us and our members to promote a flexibility and respect for different opinions.
However, funding is one of the challenges political parties are grappling with, which affects the attendance numbers. The Deputy Pai Nzeimana is the president of the UDPR party, while Odette Nyiremeremo is the executive secretary of PL party.
This is the training that our UTBR members deserve, which is why, despite the challenges that we have not been able to fully solve all the needs 100%. Because of this, after finishing a training like this, we ask the participants to put into practice what they have learned, but also to discuss with other neighbors who are not the members of the UPDR about the benefits they have benefited from this training.
When our party hosts many people, we try to include the education aspect.
It is not only a meeting, but a training that enables our participants to learn things that are not just focusing on the performance of our party.
The President of the Political and Governance Commission in the Senate, Honorable Lambert Dushimimana, talks about the research and conclusions the Senate has taken at different times, which called for political parties to be empowered.
Mu birebana n'imitwe ya politike leta igena cyane cyane ingengo y'imari inyuza muri.
The government designates the budget that is channeled through the political parties forum, and the forum distributes the money to the parties accordingly and depending on the capacity building training needed in those parties. They requested that the budget can be increased so that they can be able to reach as many as their members as possible. We will continue the advocacy to see if the budget can be increased because, as you know, political parties play a big role in the governance of the country.
That is RwandaTV News. I am Isabel Masozera, and on behalf of the entire news team here at RBA, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.